61% of Canadians want government to take action on climate change even if economy suffers. Poll.
Here's a summary of the article.
6 in 10 Canadians want the government to take action to address climate change, even if the economy suffers. New results from a Main Street poll for iPolitics suggests. The fourth release of results from the pollsters' phone survey of 2,651 Canadians, conducted between June 27 and July 2, shows that 61% of respondents strongly or somewhat agreed with the statement that it's more important for the government to solve the issue of climate change even if that means that the economy suffers. In an earlier release of results from the same poll, around 47% of respondents said the carbon tax was not helpful to the economy. The release of these new results show respondents were largely supportive about the need to take action to curb climate change. Over 85% of respondents agreed that private companies should have to pay to pollute, including 69.1% who strongly agreed. Just under 68% of respondents agreed that there's a collective moral duty to future generations to not destroy the environment further, even if it means paying more taxes in the short term. Finally, 76.5% of respondents agreed with the statement that scientific evidence clearly shows climate change is real and caused by human activity, including 62.7% of Alberta residents and 86.4% of Quebecers.
This post received a score of 80,111, with an upvote ratio of 87%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
In another poll, over 60% of Canadians wanted actual action but not if it personally cost them more. Unfortunately, the reality in Canada is that the average taxpayer doesn't want to see higher taxes. With proper taxation of the richest and biggest polluters in Canada, average families wouldn't have to pay an extra cent. One of the biggest problems in Canada is the ridiculous amount of consumption and waste generation.
Greater than in another poll, over 60% of Canadians wanted actual action but not if it personally cost them more. Do you want this generalized known positive thing, in return for this abstract hypothetical sacrifice? Of course most people say yes. Especially when there is a perceived moral high ground in it, i.e. saying yes we should sacrifice for a good is the right thing, and feeling that way means you are a good person. Would you be willing to sacrifice on discretionary luxury spending to contribute to financial stability in the long-term future? Can we cancel cable, Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, etc. and auto-pay the equivalent amount to your 401k contribution?
Then when government does, they'll go back to complaining about the economy.
Yeah, it didn't work during the Australian election. The party that made commitments on climate change was clobbered by the party who promised to build more coal mines and lower energy prices.
Of that 61%, 60% believe someone else will be picking up the tab, another province, the rich, taxes will cover it, another generation will carry the weight, etc. In reality, any legislation, tax, policy that impacts daily life will be soundly rejected and the government will be turfed at the next election. This is not cynicism, it's reality.
The rich have the ability to flee if they feel the need.
Yet look at what happened when France tried to raise taxes 10%. Tax receipts actual might decreased. Can't have a economy if we're all dead.
There will be a humanitarian disaster, that's for sure. Remember, the civil war in Syria was kicked off by people protesting against food price increases. People who are wealthy are largely insulated from those problems at the moment and are counting on being insulated from them in the future as well. It's hard enough to get people to empathize with others in the moment, so it's even harder to get people to act out of empathy regarding projected future events. Sounds about right. The wealthiest will still have to deal with people at varying levels and it's only a matter of time before everything turns to shit though.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.